Everyone, I am Paden Holenstein. You're here at the HPE Shadowbase product update. I am a marketing specialist here at Gravic. I am very excited to be here with you in this little SIG. Really quickly, before we get started, we just wanted to say from everyone here at Gravic that we hope you, your friends, your family, everyone's doing well during this pandemic. It looks like things are starting to get better, which is great, and we hope that they continue to do so. Disclaimer slide. Products that are not available now are highlighted in yellow. Please contact HPE Shadowbase Product Management, which is Mark Pollins, for the availability of these products. Gravic is a privately held corporation located in the northeast of the United States. Today we'll be talking about Shadowbase solutions. I'll give a quick overview. We'll look at some of our supported databases, our Essentials bundle, DDL replication, the ETL utility, and many more to make transformation, to make audit compliance just much easier and more simplified and faster. TMF, myths and truths, there's some rumors circulating out there which we'll discuss. Questions throughout the presentation, just please comment, question in the chat box. I will answer them as we go. That being said, if I can't get to it or I can't chat it out, I'll save it towards the end and then I'll review those questions afterwards. Business continuity. Shadowbase business continuity enables extreme availability and automatic failover and recovery to eliminate unplanned downtime. We'll talk more about these various architectures in a bit. Also, we have an overview video at each of these different web pages. Please check these out. They're great summaries of the different solutions.
Shadowbase Zero Data Loss provides synchronous replication. ZDL Plus, a future release, will be able to automatically resolve data collisions in active-active environments. It enables you to eliminate data loss for your HPE nonstop environments. Active-passive is the only architecture that is available now as part of an early code drop, temporary code delivery. It is only used in a testing environment. If you're interested, please contact us for more information.
Shadowbase Zero Downtime Migration enables extreme application availability during upgrades and migrations. It allows you to eliminate planned downtime. Upgrades, migrations, platform refreshes, all through continuous application services. It eliminates the business risk because you migrate to a known working state, and it avoids data loss. There's a backout option if a failback did have to occur. Typically, you can't just rip out any old replication engine and replace it with Shadowbase solutions. Most of the data should be fine, but any customization, any hard-coded transformation must be planned, tested, and replaced with a Shadowbase equivalent. What does this look like? It totally depends. It could be something we support out of the box. We just need to set up a replication thread. It might require Shadowbase map scripting into a user exit, which we'll talk about later. It could require programming a user exit. We would have to look into that. Another quick note, we came out with a new licensing module. Existing customers will need to get new license keys when they upgrade. Not a big deal though. Shadowbase Compare provides data validation that the target database accurately matches your source. For instance, you're doing a migration. You load the new database with the data. How do we know whether or not it matches? Compare is a perfect fit for that. What do we do if there's inconsistencies? Well, Compare for SQL, nonstop SQL databases, is able to correct them. It really is a must-have for business continuity architectures. It can coexist with all other data replication engines. No application outage is required. It's smart enough to recognize the false positives, screen those out. It has a solve utility, which can support the OSS regular file comparisons. It helps meet the regulatory requirements. In plan for the future is adding support for nscribe queue files, comparing unstructured files, record row compression, basically summarizing the records with an MD5 hash, improving false positive iteration processing for faster parallelism, and Other future features planned beyond that: Nscribe record repair function to fix those mismatches, massive performance improvements, heterogeneous compare. This is just absolutely enormous. And when I heard that we were doing this, that was my reaction, at least briefly. We will be able to support all Shadowbase supported targets, for example, nonstop to Oracle or SQL Server, etc. Stay informed, stay subscribed to our newsletter, stay up to date with all information just like this with cutting edge releases.
Shadowbase application integration integrates one application with a different one for new solutions. You can build event-driven architectures, real-time architectures, ones that don't pull the database or work with stale data. It integrates applications without any code changes. It's used for decision support systems, real-time business intelligence, real-time fraud detection. The use cases are almost endless here. Integrating at the data layer is easier. It avoids costly adapters. It avoids middleware. Data and application integration are extremely helpful.
Data integration. It's a little bit different. It's the same product as the last one, though. It's integrate data from one database into a different database for competitive advantage. Data integration, similar to application integration, but in this case, you're integrating data from one database into a different database for competitive advantage. Master your data management, like and unlike replication, like to like databases, and from one database to a different database. Transformation, scrubbing, filtering, and cleansing of your data. Another thing, you can extend the replication capabilities of Shadowbase with embedded application logic. These are user exits, which I sort of talked about earlier, but let's wait a little bit more and I'll explain it even further. Popular uses: data streaming, change data capture, creating a data warehouse feed, offline and online loading. They're just happening all the time out there in the nonstop community. The Essentials Bundle. We named it this because we really do believe it will save you a ton of time. In the audit compliance realm, Shadowbase Audit Log can create archival database of your nonstop operational data. Nonstop's doing work, posting transactions, making updates, sending data here, sending data there. Shadowbase sees these changes, picks them up, transforms them into a SQL database, for instance, Microsoft SQL. So you can run your SQL queries on that database in order to see what's going on with the different transactions. This is where Audit Reader comes in. This is like Snoop but on steroids because it's safer. You can use SAR for reading these audit trails. Who changed what when? Great to help with your audit compliance. We recommend this on every nonstop. Why not, right? It's a TMF tool after all. Shadowbase DDL utility to take your Nscribe records and flatten them, quote unquote, right? Normalize them basically in any supported SQL DDL. And it creates the SQL create table command. The user can run that command, get the table created, and then use Shadowbase to transform and load the data. SB Create P. This is the same thing, but with this nonstop SQL and P source. Available now via TCD, general availability, in plan for next release. SB Create X, same deal, but for a release after that.
For nonstop SQL MX as a source.
Everyone's favorite, the sources and target databases. Anything on the left can replicate to anything on the right. Every single combination that you see, we test in the standard QA cycle. Not to mention EOF file chasing for log files. You can replicate to Shadowbase Map. Shadowbase Map will enable you to do scripting in order to create a user exit, which will transform the data, creating data streams. So you're streaming the data to Shadowbase Map. Changes are made on the nonstop. They make their way over to Shadowbase Map with Shadowbase. Shadowbase moves them over to Shadowbase Map, which runs it through the user exit customization feed, which can support various targets. Basically, this gives power to the user to be able to script their own user exits very quickly without any programming. Oracle Enterprise as a target, Unix and Linux. We've added some new data types to that, and we will continue as Oracle comes out with them. ETL toolkit, the flat files. This is great for unloading data from a database and preparing it in flat files for any target that you don't see here that supports flat files. It extends the data, again, to reach other newer databases. PostgreSQL, SAP HANA, SAP Sybase, CockroachDB even, on Linux, Windows, Unix. These are hot databases these days. Any ODBC target platform that we can access through the ODBC client API is a target that we can replicate to. The cloud, replicating data to the cloud. Let's talk about the cloud very quickly. We've been able to do this for at least 7 years now. I mean, this is nothing new, to be honest. Shadowbase primarily moves data in and out of the cloud from a nonstop, but we do and we can replicate the data between two different cloud systems. For more information, we have these white papers, which are great reads if you're thinking about starting up a cloud architecture. Give those a quick look. Two-way, bidirectional data replication for like-to-like and unlike databases. Again, anything on the left can replicate to anything on the right, and we have tons of customers replicating their Nscribe data to Microsoft Windows and back, SQLMP to Windows, SQLMP to Oracle, for instance. Moving on with the Essentials bundle, this ETL toolkit converts the nonstop data or your change data capture, your DML, data manipulation language activity, into flat files. Solve or another utility can load this data into a new target environment. This enables target environments that we don't directly support. For example, Teradata or column-oriented databases. Once again, that's available TCD. Shadowbase Map, another TCD solution, is excellent for the filtering, scrubbing, and the cleansing of your data. It just makes it so much easier to create these Shadowbase user exits. And in fact, we had our team programming manually so many of these that this was just an essential to replace, in particular, Oracle Golden Gate and their different customizations. However, is something that will be useful down the road for replacing and for many other different reasons as well. SPMap for Nscribe and SQLMX is for a future release. If any of these, by the way, really interest you, do contact us because we can make sure that something is either up to specs that you may need it for. You can test it and see if it will actually work for what you think it can do. Shadowbase Undo Redo enables you to restore these corrupted databases. You can choose which transactions you can roll through or roll back from the TMF audit trails. DCR, this is DDL command replication from one nonstop database to another. This works really well with the Shadowbase replication engine. It doesn't affect replication. DCR for SQLMX in a future release.
Briefly, I wanted to talk about myths and truths on TMF. Don't forget how valuable this capability is. TMF is a critical requirement for mission-critical applications. There's lots of FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and rumors circulating about TMF. Nothing has changed. There's hearsay circulating out there. It's important to know DBMS, ACID properties, these things are critical for mission-critical applications. It scares us that there are big nonstop shops out there that run non-audited environments. It's a myth that TMF will slow down your application. You get the idea. And while we're on this topic, if the goal is to save data, you're much more likely to do it in an audited architecture for several reasons, which I won't get into. But lastly, if you stick with an unaudited environment, you will not be able to use Shadowbase zero data loss technology, which is synchronous replication, to ensure that your transactions are locked and safe stored. Please read this article that we did an extensive amount of research on, share it, and be informed.
In summary, protect your enterprise now with HPE Shadowbase software. It is strategic, award-winning software We're HPE's strategic go-forward data replication solution. We've won numerous awards, including Momentum Technology Partner of the Year Award. We're mission critical, business critical. It's scalable. It can handle high data throughput. It's a flexible solution, many different sources and targets. It's extensible in its solutions and its architectures. Customers often buy it and then they start utilizing it more and they recognize great value with it. It's backed by global sales, support, professional services from HPE, the GNSC, PointNext, SDI, or HPE's regional reseller in some geos. Visit our website for more information. These are our main key solution areas. Let's take a look at what's going on, what's new, the different articles and topics we're discussing, use cases. These are excellent to find a customer or a recent usage of Shadowbase that's similar to yours. It's surprising to us how often one customer will be in a similar situation to another. It could be migration, data integration, business continuity. With all that, thanks for sticking with me. I've really enjoyed being with you folks. I hope you have a great rest of your little SIG and you enjoy it.